Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. So, today's video we're going to talk about the dancing water speakers. Really makes no difference if they're made by Gadgetree or whoever, but one of the things we found happens at times is the color of the liquid inside, aka oil, goes to a greenish colored tinge instead of the nice blue. And I've been wondering what's been causing this for a while now, because it's like, nothing's going on, the lights are still working. Well, as it turns out, the color of LEDs that you see in these things, those colors combined make the oil that's inside, because that's what it is actually, is an oil, actually makes it turn the blue color. Well, I've been messing around trying to get a set of these speakers up and running tonight. And what I've discovered is that as your LEDs start to burn, because they all get weak over time, well, whichever one starts to go, and it's hard to tell which just by looking at them, but because they all still look pretty much the way they should. Anyway, as the tone changes of the coloration of the LED as it's starting to get weaker with use, that's what's actually turning your liquid inside to an alternate color other than blue. In this case, we've had like a bluish green type effect going on, where it's definitely not blue anymore, but it's kind of like it's a green, but with a kind of a bluish tinge to it, but it's, it's kind of hard to explain. But anyway, I found this out because I know for a fact that the speaker I ripped apart, everything was blue, but I had to change the amps over, and I figured, well, I might as well take amp, LED panel, and all. And so anyway, I threw it all together, and it's like, I got that green tinge, like, what's up? So anyway, I thought to myself, well, I know that was blue water with the bad amp in there. And the amp I replaced it with is one I've had sitting around for a while because I know the amp works. And so anyway, I rechecked it, the old amp, even though it's shot, I rechecked it with its LED panel, and all of a sudden, blue again. So it turns out that if you do start to get this greenish blue, or bluish green, or some alternate color other than the nice blue that it was brand new, it's your LEDs that are starting to burn. Now these LEDs can be replaced. It's not very difficult. They're only 3mm jobbies. You just need to pick out the right colors that you need. And the board's marked actually red, blue, green, and yellow. So you just need to get the color that you need that looks like it's the weakest, and you can unsolder it and solder in a new one and replace it. Or in this case, because I got a whack load of these things that I got for parts, I'm just going to solder on a whole new terminal of LEDs, because I'm not going to bother messing around just to pull out an LED just to change it. So I'm going to change the whole strip. But if you guys have been having this problem, and over time with a lot of usage, and you're starting to get that alternate color going on, whatever it may be, that's exactly what's causing it, is the little LED strip that sits inside on top in here. Okay, so all you got to do is replace the weak bulb or bulbs, and or just just replace all the bulbs, because unless you can get one of these for spare parts that is perfect, then you're going to have to just get the bulbs. And I mean, you can get these LED bulbs anywhere online. They're a 3mm bulb for the diameter, so not a big issue. And even replace all 4 of them, because it's hard to tell, like I said, which bulb is actually shot. So if you're good with a soldering iron, no problem. You can take them out, put in new ones, and restore your speakers back to normal. So I thought I'd share this with you guys, because I know there's a lot of you out there that are into electronics like I am, and I'm sure you got a set of these things because they're pretty cool speakers. But that's what the problem is that goes on. Now, as a little bit of extra into these speakers, because I get asked a lot of questions on these speakers. Some people are asking me questions like, you know, I get a buzzing sound. What's that buzzing sound going on? Well, if it's not coming out of your speaker itself, then it could be that your motor mount here is just loose. And depending on which version of these speakers you have, there's a 2-screw version and a 3-screw version. The one I'm working on today is the newest version of these that are out, which has the 3 screws. I guess they made a revision because there were problems with the 2-screw version where it just vibrate off and it's nothing but a hassle, or the connectors would break where the screws go in. But this 3-screw version is really strong. The likelihood of you getting a brand new set of these with the 2-screw version nowadays is pretty slim. So you probably end up with the 3-screw version. But that's probably what it is it's nothing more than either a loose screw or two, which can make a buzzing sound happen, that's really annoying. Because you should be able to listen to these things and have a fairly clean sound. You're going to hear a little bit of that pump regardless. It's just the way it is. That's what they're all about. But you shouldn't hear like a nasty buzzing sound. If you're getting that, then it could be a problem with, maybe one of the screws fell right out, or it's just backed itself off. So then they're not very hard to open up. 4 screws, pop the panel, slide it out, and away you go. And you can check the screws on the back of your motor there, and make sure that they're screwed in snugly. Don't try reefing tight on these things. Only snug, because otherwise you will shatter the other end where the screw goes into on the speaker, and then you're going to end up having to hot glue the sucker back together. So just be careful with that and just snug. If you want to stop it from backing off again, put a couple of drops of crazy glue onto each screw after you snugged them, and let it sit for about a half an hour so that the crazy glue can set properly, and then you'll likely never ever have another issue again. So, but anyway, if you got any other questions, I'm sure a lot of you do, feel free to ask. Do the best I can. I'm becoming quite the expert on these speakers because I've been doing a lot of work on them. So the other thing that can cause funky sound to happen, which is another discovery tonight, is the audio cable that goes between your computer and your speaker. This one here, that cable can actually start to break down if it's being moved around a lot and pinched or whatever. And those cables aren't very expensive to replace. You can get them at a lot of different places like Radio Shack, The Source, wherever you happen to have a place where you can buy these cables. Future Shop, Best Buy should have them, and it's just a stereo to stereo plug anyhow, same end on each. And that can actually cause, believe it or not, a speaker to go funky. Because I had an issue with one of the cables tonight with a pair of speakers that I was working on, and found out it was just the cable that was the problem, because the one speaker just didn't have enough proper sound to it. It was kind of, and I checked through like half a dozen speakers on the one side, and sure enough I thought, well, check the cable, and yeah, turns out these cables they can actually break down and cause one of your speakers to go funky. So it's not necessarily the speaker itself, it's just the cable. So one side goes bad, and it's it's on the side that doesn't have the amp, so it'll be this side here, that the sound won't go properly through, all because of that little cable. So anyway, that's pretty much about it. Once again, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.